MTC. Day 06, Number 1. Generalization without specific examples that humanize writing is boring to the listener and to the reader. Who wants to read platitudes all day? Who wants to hear the words great, greater, best, smartest, finest, humanitarian, on and on and on without specific examples? Instead of using these nothing words, leave them out completely and just describe the particulars. There is nothing worse than reading a scene in a novel in which a main character is described up front as heroic or brave or tragic or funny, while thereafter, the writer quickly moves on to something else. That's no good at all. You have to use less one-word descriptions and more detailed, engaging descriptions if you want to make something real. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Day 06, Number 2. One dynamic that can change dramatically in sport is the concept of the home field advantage, in which perceived demands and resources seem to play a role. Under normal circumstances, the home ground would appear to provide greater perceived resources, fans, home field, and so on. However, researchers Roy Baumeister and Andrew Steinhilber were among the first to point out that these competitive factors can change. Roy Baumeister, Andrew Steinhilber. For example, the success percentage for home teams in the final games of a playoff or World Series seems to drop. Fans can become part of the perceived demands rather than resources under those circumstances. This change in perception can also explain why a team that's struggling at the start of the year will often welcome a road trip to reduce perceived demands and pressures. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Day 06, Number 3. We are connected to the night sky in many ways. It has always inspired people to wonder and to imagine. Since the dawn of civilization, our ancestors created myths and told legendary stories about the night sky. Elements of those narratives became embedded in the social and cultural identities of many generations. On a practical level, the night sky helped past generations to keep track of time and create calendars essential to developing societies as aids to farming and seasonal gathering. For many centuries, it also provided a useful navigation tool, vital for commerce and for exploring new worlds. Even in modern times, many people in remote areas of the planet observe the night sky for such practical purposes. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Day 06, Number 4. Rejection is an everyday part of our lives, yet most people can't handle it well. For many, it's so painful that they'd rather not ask for something at all than ask and risk rejection. Yet, as the old saying goes, if you don't ask, the answer is always no. Avoiding rejection negatively affects many aspects of your life. All of that happens only because you're not tough enough to handle it. For this reason, consider rejection therapy. Come up with a request or an activity that usually results in a rejection. Working in sales is one such example. Asking for discounts at the stores will also work. By deliberately getting yourself rejected, you'll grow a thicker skin that will allow you to take on much more in life, thus making you more successful at dealing with unfavorable circumstances. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Day 06, Number 5-6. The longest journey we will make is the 18 inches between our head and heart. 1-8. If we take this journey, it can shorten our misery in the world. Impatience, judgment, frustration, and anger reside in our heads. When we live in that place too long, it makes us unhappy. But when we take the journey from our heads to our hearts, something shifts inside. What if we were able to love everything that gets in our way? What if we tried loving the shopper who unknowingly steps in front of us in line, the driver who cuts us off in traffic, the swimmer who splashes us with water during a belly dive, or the reader who pens a bad online review of our writing? Every person who makes us miserable is like us, a human being, most likely doing the best they can, deeply loved by their parents, a child, or a friend. And how many times have we unknowingly stepped in front of someone in line? Cut someone off in traffic? Splashed someone in a pool? Or made a negative statement about something we've read? It helps to remember that a piece of us resides in every person we meet.